Welcome back to Fred in the Shed and another video, and in this video we'll be looking at the Retevis RT45 P. This is a 16 channel full UK legal PMR public band radio. In this video review we'll be having a look what you get in the box for your money, then we'll have a closer look at the radio itself because it does have quite a few features, and then finally I'll be taking it outside and do some real life range tests in a built up area, nothing like out in the open or on the side of a hill, no, in proper streets and houses, just to see how far you can get on half a watt. And I was actually quite surprised, but anyway, that's all in the video, so stay tuned and let's crack straight into it. Now, the first thing that stands out is that they are rather bright. They are in this emergency orange colour. That's not going to be to everybody's tastes. I suppose most people would prefer maybe black or camouflage green. Of course, the advantage is if you lose these, if you're out and about walking and they drop off your belt or whatever and land in a field, they're certainly going to stand out. You shouldn't have any trouble walking back and finding them. Personally, I think they look a little bit different. Yeah, I'm quite happy with the colour. Right, let's see what we get in the box. So we've got the two radios itself. It's quite nice that Retevis provide you with a little plug-in 5V 1 amp power supply. Quite often nowadays you don't get that in these radios, so that's a good advantage. USB-C charging leads, and yeah, it's a double lead, so you can charge both radios at the same time. Now the radios do use standard AA NIMH batteries for charging. I think that's a really good advantage because if you are on, say, an adventure holiday, camping, something like that, you can always pick up a set of AA's from anywhere if you can't get to a USB charge point. So yeah, I think that gets a thumbs up straight away. Next we have a couple of belt clips. Not the metal type sprung design you get with a bow thong, and but I think we'll just slide those on for the first time. Yep, they go pretty secure. I don't know if they're going to come off any time soon. Like I say, bow thong, yeah, you might get a probably metal hinged, but I think they'll do absolutely fine. Inside the box you'll also find a well written, easy to understand user manual in English, not pidgin English, proper English, and everything is pretty much explained here. It's very straightforward. All of the functions are explained. There was one thing that I did find a little bit unusual, is on the display on the radio you have a little icon there that says high and low, and when you look at the manual it says high and low power, although in the menu system there's no way to change that. So I do wonder if it's one of these radios that if you was to connect it to a computer, there might be some way to jailbreak the programming and maybe you could increase the power of the radio. But of course, if you did that, you would be breaking UK regulations and you'd have yourself an illegal radio. But just something I found a little bit interesting. The radio does feature a built-in flashlight, and that is a good thing. It's surprising how often you're going to use that if you're out and about. It's okay. It's not the brightest. I was a little disappointed, as it certainly looked a little bit brighter. It's also got a focusing lens as well. Yeah, I would have liked to have seen something maybe the same as my mobile phone, something like that, but it's nice that it's got it there anyway. Switching the radio on for the first time, it does have those annoying key bleeps, but fortunately you're able to switch them off in the menus. One more thing worth noting, on the side here where you plug in USB-C to charge the radio, it does show a headset icon there, although when you open it up there is no 3.5 or 2.5mm audio jack, you just have a USB-C. So I imagine that Retevis probably will sell you a headset that is available for the radio. Quite a useful feature, I think. That the Vox function will work better if you use it with a headset other than just trying to use it with the microphone. Features include a auto squelch with a manual monitor button so you can check the channel is clear before you transmit. Channel scan up and down the 16 PMR channels. Call tones, there's 10 to choose, so you can key up and announce that you're going to transmit. Also features something that's quite interesting I've not seen before, and this is a room monitor function. Here you can set the radio so it will transmit as soon as the microphone receives audio. That is adjustable in the menu system, but it will not receive, so it can be discreetly put in a room. You could use it maybe like a baby monitor, or even sort of a stealth-like bugging device if you like. It's kind of interesting, that one. There's the obligatory Roger bleep that you can turn on and off. There's a dual watch feature as well, where you can choose between 2 channels to double monitor. And then finally there is a CTC SS function, often called interference codes. There's 121 to choose from, incorrectly called privacy codes sometimes. Let me explain what this is. So you've got your 16 PMR channels, but you may be in a very busy environment. Other people may be on those channels as well. So with your 2 compatible handsets, you can choose a privacy code on a certain channel, and then the radio will only receive another radio that is set on the same code. It's a good function, especially if you've got a group of you. Maybe you've got a family going away, and you can each set each radio to the same interference code, and then you shouldn't get any other problems with other people cutting into your conversation. Now, I say it's incorrectly called privacy codes because when you transmit, of course, any ordinary PMR radio can still hear your transmission, so it's not like it's private. It just stops you receiving other people's transmissions. Going to move on to the distance testing now. Now, you've got to be very, very reasonable about PMR radios in a built-up area. Yes, I've seen videos on YouTube when these type of radios running 500 milliwatts on the high peak of a mountain, talking to someone else on a high peak, you can get over 100 miles, 150 kilometers, something like that. Being practical, in a built-up area where I live, we're surrounded by infrastructure, houses, cars, metal structures, things like that. The range that you get becomes very, very much reduced. I've tested. So this first audio check, typically using radios just in the house. I'm in the back garden and the radio is up in the front bedroom. So something you would use around the home. And let's see how we get on. It shouldn't be any problem at all. Yeah, audio check from the rear garden there. Oh, I don't know, approximately 25 meters from the radio. Audio 1 2 1 2 1 2 audio.
Yeah, audio check from the rear garden there. Oh, I don't know, approximately 25 meters from the radio. Audio 1 2 1 2 1 2 audio.
Okay, time for the second check. We're about just over 100 meters thereabouts, and this is somewhere where I would walk the dog, so a good test for the radio to see if you was able to leave the house. And here we go, so about 100 meters. Audio test 1 2 1 2 3 4 audio, approximately 100 meters.
Audio test 1 2 1 2 3 4 audio, approximately 100 meters from the house, with houses and infrastructure in the way to block the signal. Audio 1 2 1 2 audio.
Right, we're about 150 meters out by all this rubble here, and just going to give it a go. This is probably about the range that if you had kids or something, you might give them these radios and they can keep in contact with base, so let's go at 150 meters. Yeah, testing 1 2 audio, testing 1 2 audio, 150 meters from base. Audio.
Yeah, testing 1 2 audio, testing 1 2 audio, 150 meters from base. Audio check 1 2 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 audio.
Right, so here we are, just over the 200 meter mark, and I've put myself slap bang in the middle of a housing estate and by a main road, so there's a lot of infrastructure now between us, lots of interference. I'll be surprised if it makes this on half a watt. I'll be very impressed actually, but let's give it a good go, shall we? Yeah, audio check at just over the 200 meter mark by a busy road.
Check, audio check at just over the 200 meter mark by a busy road. Audio check, 1 2, 1 2, 1 2, audio check.
Okay, here we are. We're getting close to about 350 metres, maybe just a fraction more. When I tested the Bofang's, which are a 4-watt radio, this was about the limit I was getting. I'm in a very, very dense built-up area by a main road. So at 1/2 watt, I don't think this has got any chance. But we're going to give it a go as we're out here, because it's Fred in the shed, isn't it? So let's have a go. Yeah, testing 1 2 1 2. At about 350 metres, audio check back to the house.
Yeah, testing 1 2 1 2. At about 350 metres, audio check back to the house. 1 2 1 2, PMR, audio check, 1 2 1 2.
Just walking back now. We're probably about 1/2 kilometre out, I should think. Quite a way out now, well beyond what I think this radio will be able to do. But while I'm here, I'll give it a test. So there we go. Yeah, audio check 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4, 1/2 kilometre, about 1/2 kilometre out from the house. Audio check 1 2 1 2 or 1 2 audio. I'll be absolutely amazed if that gets back.
Yeah, audio check 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4, 1/2 kilometre, about 1/2 kilometre out from the house. Audio check 1 2 1 2 or 1 2 audio.
And we're back inside. I am totally impressed with that. To be honest with you, the range and the clarity of those signal, yeah, I think PMR radios have certainly moved on leaps and bounds from the ones that we used to have with the kids a few years ago. Very, very pleased with that. I mean, as I say, the last test being at approximately 1/2 kilometre in a built-up area, still perfectly readable, the audio perfectly clear. Yeah, I don't think you can go wrong, especially for something which basically is going to cost between £20 and £25 per radio, 1/2 watt. Really, really impressive. It's not really a biggie, but the way the actual controls work now, with the up and down control, I would, instead of being the volume control, which I think once you've set the volume, you're most likely to leave it, I would prefer that to have been the channel up and down button. To change the channel, you just have to press the menu button once, and then you're able to change the channel. I would have preferred that the other way round. Myself, I would have preferred to have just been able to change the channel with the up and down button, and then maybe just go into the menu to set the volume. Better still, if the radio could have had maybe a manual volume like you get on a Bofang, that might have been sort of slightly better. But I guess it's one of those things that you get used to. And I think that about sums it up from me. I will leave a link in the description to Retevis there, where you can purchase a pair of these radios. I would recommend that you use the official link that they sent me. There are lots of counterfeit radios about on eBay from China, places like that. You have to sort of be very careful nowadays when you buy two-way radios. Retevis have said they're going to send me some more radios to test, so please remember to come back, maybe hit me a sub if you haven't already done so, and you'll see some more very down-to-earth, very practical reviews of these handheld little PMR radios. But as for now, as always, here's the old thumbs from Fred. Give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. I really appreciate that. Thanks for your view time, also appreciated. Stay safe, and I'll catch you all on the next one. Cheers, guys.